Voters do not agree with these despicable women on The View. They are wildly out of touch with the vast majority of Americans, and frankly, they should seek immediate help.
This is why, of course, she's on The View and not working for the most powerful man in the world, because Karoline would wipe the floor with you bitter banshees any day.
He knows how to do this. Yes, he knows how to do this. He's quite good at this. And you know, you can't refute anything with him because he just, when I say him, I mean...
He rambles.
Trump.
Yeah.
He tends to just...
But can I mention one thing?
A few days ago, we brought you the fiery exchange between the new White House press secretary, Karoline Leavitt, and Whoopi Goldberg. But due to time constraints, we couldn't share all the jaw-dropping details. Until now. Get ready, because what you're about to see will leave you speechless. And hey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss unforgettable moments like this.
Too, I'm a working mom and always have been. I've been a professional woman since I graduated from college or law school. But now there's, I think, a good thing, which is like the restoration of valuing so-called traditional, moms, and that's great. The women who take care of their kids full time. Most of my best friends are doing exactly that. But it seems like in the right, there's like a bit of a shift toward like, you can't do what Karoline's doing. That's actually like an unsafe or a dangerous or a bad choice for families, for children, which I reject wholesale, but you hear it more and more.
Yeah.
Do you hear that, and what do you think of it?
Right off the bat, the woke mob did what it does best, lose its mind and try to mom-shame Karoline Leavitt. Why? Because apparently, if you dare outwit the self-proclaimed queen of woke, Whoopi Goldberg, her army of minions will swoop in like Twitter trolls on a viral hashtag. And with the woke brigade, nothing is off limits. Not your arguments, not your character, and certainly not your family. So what was their brilliant comeback after Leavitt verbally suplexed Goldberg on national TV? Did they challenge her facts or professionalism? Nope. Instead, they went full 1950s and questioned why a mother of a 7-month-old was even working. Yes, folks, the same crowd that shouts, "Women can do it all," suddenly hit pause and decided this particular working mom had crossed the line. Apparently, if you embarrass a daytime talk show host, your only option is to go home, bake cookies, and rethink your life choices. Hypocrisy at its finest. Self-awareness, nowhere to be found.
I would reject that it's a bad choice. Is it a tough choice? Absolutely. You know, as a mother, you want to be with your child 24/7. You have that maternal instinct.
27.
Yeah. Not all the time. Well, right now, yes, because he's 7 months and just squishy and lovable, but I'm sure that will change. No, but you know, you do have that maternal instinct, but also recognizing, like, I'm doing this work for my son and for all children to make this country better, and it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Honestly, Karoline is making some solid points, and it's baffling why anyone would criticize a hardworking mother in the first place. Let's see what she has to say next.
It's also it's temporary, right? In 4 years, my son will be 4 years old, and the president will no longer be at the White House, and then I'll move on and do something else. But, you know, this chaos of 24/7 work is a temporary matter, and that's what at least I tell myself to get through these very long and hard days. But I would reject that you can't be a good mom and be good at your job. I think you can do both. It certainly it's not for everybody, and it takes a lot of work and will and faith and prayer, and it's hard, but it can be done. And you know, I would reject that.
And just like that, Karoline Leavitt effortlessly crushes the woke outrage, swatting it away like a fly with a sledgehammer. Calmly and confidently, she lays out what should be common sense. Yes, a woman can balance motherhood and a career without sacrificing one for the other. Groundbreaking, right? Someone alert the think tanks. But here's where Leavitt really flips the script. Instead of shying away, she boldly embraces traditional values, acknowledging that juggling work and raising a child is tough, but not impossible. And if a woman chooses to do both, more power to her. Shocking, isn't it? A woman unapologetically saying, "Hey, my lifestyle works for me," rather than subscribing to the left's one-size-fits-all mentality.
I mean, I gotta ask you, because they said it, are you aware of any plots from Elon Musk
to push President Trump down the stairs.
Absolutely not. Let me be unequivocally clear about that. And watching this clip, I couldn't help but think how ironic that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists. But they have been wrong about everything they have said over the last couple of years. They likened President Trump to Hitler. They have mocked him. They have shamed him. They have lied about him consistently on their show.
Unlike the feminist mantra that insists women must choose between family and career or else they've somehow failed, Leavitt offers a more balanced perspective. She gracefully points out that women who choose full-time motherhood deserve respect, not criticism. Believe it or not, raising the next generation is just as valuable as climbing the corporate ladder. And with that, Leavitt doesn't just win the moment. She exposes the left's hypocrisy for what it is, performative empowerment. They claim to support women, yet resort to mom-shaming the second a woman challenges their narrative. But just when you think they couldn't sink any lower, they manage to surprise us with a brand new rock-bottom conspiracy theory. I have to ask, are you aware of any sinister plot by Elon Musk to push Trump down a flight of stairs? No? Well, apparently, the ladies of The View are.
You must have really wrestled with how you were going to meet the high bar set by Karine Jean-Pierre. Was that... Sorry. Was that out loud? No, she was terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how has your approach differed, would you say?
I think it's vastly different. And if you ask people, even in the legacy media, even the Trump haters, they will tell you the approach has been much different. Not just for me, but the entire White House. Oh, absolutely. They come in my office every day and they'll admit that off the record.
Oh.
Maybe not on the record, but they will say they appreciate the access and the transparency and the preparation that goes into my briefings. And
Watching this unfold, I couldn't help but notice the irony. Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar, who spend their days calling Republicans conspiracy theorists, suddenly sound like tinfoil hat-wearing doomsayers themselves. Over the last few years, they've likened Trump to Hitler, mocked him, lied about him repeatedly, and now they've reached a new level of absurdity. They genuinely believe that Musk, who's busy launching rockets and revolutionizing transportation, has nothing better to do than mastermind a plot to take down Trump by shoving him down some stairs. Yes, really. And who's leading this intellectual masterpiece of a theory? None other than The View's resident political experts, the same daytime talk show hosts who somehow think they're running a congressional committee from their coffee table. Leavitt had already dismantled their queen bee, and now they were out for blood. But who better to target than Trump and his so-called buddy, Musk? At this point, it's like watching satire write itself. But Leavitt wasn't about to let this nonsense slide.
An IG report from the Social Security Administration, there was $71 billion worth of fraud in one single fiscal year that we know about. And so that is a lot of fraud, Peter.
To be clear, that $71 billion was from 2015 to 2022, so it wasn't in just 1 year. And it was
$71 billion.
But it wasn't in 1 year, just over multiple years, from 2015 to 2022.
So are you defending $71 billion in fraud, Peter? That's a lot of money. Why is the media so against cutting waste, fraud, and abuse from the government? I don't get it.
I just want to ask a question.
We won't be deterred. We will not be deterred from people like you and the...
She hit back with a few choice words, not just debunking their lunacy, but exposing how desperate the left has become. And of course, when they had nothing left, Goldberg did what every losing debater does. She took the coward's way out. Instead of confronting Leavitt's points head-on, she tried to redirect by randomly invoking Trump's name, as if that alone was enough to score a win. Classy, right? Because nothing says intellectual rebuttal like screaming "Orange Man bad." Leavitt, unfazed, fired back with the precision of a surgeon and the force of a freight train. This is what passes for discourse now, being so triggered by facts that you resort to playground antics, flailing like a toddler refusing to eat their broccoli. No wonder daytime TV ratings are plummeting. And she didn't stop there. She called out their hypocrisy even further. These are the same people who demand respect, yet have turned ABC into a low-budget comedy show, and the internet noticed. Memes flooded in faster than The View's producers could cut to a commercial break. Many who watched the exchange voiced their support for Leavitt, with one commenter summing it up perfectly. Goldberg just spat in the face of every American who voted for Trump. That's how out of touch they are. Some even speculated that Whoopi's meltdown was just an attempt to grab attention. Because let's be honest, when your ratings are crashing, what better way to stay relevant than by stirring up controversy? Either way, one thing is clear. Karoline Leavitt walked away victorious, while The View was left scrambling to clean up the mess. Oh, vastly different, Leavitt replies. Even people in the legacy media, even Trump haters will tell. The approach is completely different, not just from me, but from the entire White House. They come into my office every day, and off the record, maybe not on the record, they'll admit they appreciate the access, the transparency, and the preparation that goes into my briefings. Wait, hold on. Did Leavitt just expose the legacy media and Trump haters in one swift move? Because this part is gold. Think about it. These are the same people who pounce on Leavitt at every opportunity, questioning her credentials, mom-shaming her, and dragging her name through the mud at every turn. If she so much as breathes wrong, an op-ed is up within the hour. But here's where it gets juicy. When the cameras are off and the Twitter outrage machine is unplugged, these very same critics are sneaking into Leavitt's office to thank her for providing the media access they couldn't get under Biden's press. Team. Yes, you heard that right. Publicly, they paint her as some right-wing villain, but privately, it's all smiles, handshakes, and whispers of, "Thanks for actually doing your job." You literally can't make this stuff up. But honestly, should anyone be surprised? Hypocrisy has practically become a job requirement on the left. It's not just The View, it's the entire media ecosystem pretending to fight the dragon while secretly feeding it scraps under the table. And Leavitt? She's just standing there, seat in hand, watching the whole charade unravel. Then, just when she barely has time to catch her breath from verbally dismantling Whoopi Goldberg, another woke journalist swoops in, ready to set the record straight. Was this journalist concerned about the massive $71 billion in government fraud Leavitt had just exposed? You know, that neon sign of corruption flashing right in front of them? Of course not. That would require critical thinking, and we can't have that. Instead, they did what they do best, attack the messenger. It's almost like these people attend the same training camp. And the best part? The journalist, clearly flustered, doubled. Donna, because when you're losing, why not dig an even deeper hole? They kept nitpicking words while completely ignoring the elephant tap dancing in the room. By the time Leavitt was done, it wasn't just a debate. It was a demolition. The journalist walked away looking less like a truth seeker and more like an unpaid PR rep for government waste. Well, Leavitt explains, I did prepare a binder for my first briefing. My assistant Keegan put it together, and it was this thick. She gestures with her hands. I looked at it and thought, I can't even move this. I can't use this. It was too cumbersome for my brain, the way I learn and think. It just felt like added weight. And that right there is the secret behind Karoline Leavitt's lightning-fast responses and devastating clapbacks. She's not reading from a script. She's not filtering her words through a woke-approved PR machine. She speaks directly and authentically. Meanwhile, her woke counterparts need a focus group, a consultant, and a thesaurus just to craft the perfect, inclusive yet outraged soundbite. Leavitt skips the theatrics. No hypocrisy, no obfuscation, just raw, unfiltered reality, the kind that actually lands. While the left is busy doing mental gymnastics to avoid offending their own echo chamber, Leavitt is out here saying exactly what everyone else is thinking.